A very good afternoon from the Alton Towers Resort, where we're going to have a bit of a look around Forbidden Valley and bring you some of the changes down here at Nemesis Reborn.
So it's been just over a month since Nemesis Reborn opened, so we're going to have another ride, let you know how the Rattle's going on, see if it's still there, and have a look around the area and see if there's been any updates.
There's been some theming enhancements that I'm excited to share with you all, including some of them made over the past couple of days up in the queue line, and just generally share a bit of an update. Have you been to Alton Towers yet? Have you ridden Nemesis Reborn? Let us know down below in the video comments. We would love to know your thoughts here on Theme Park Worldwide. Of course, this classic B&M inverted roller coaster opened here at Alton Towers back in 1994, 30 years ago. It closed at the end of 2022 for a full year-and-a-half refurbishment, where we've seen all the track and supports replaced, and then also a lot of new theming, a new colour scheme, and the whole backstory really being expanded on for this legendary roller coaster. The atmosphere around this area is wonderful, and we spent a lot of time around here at Nemesis Reborn over the past month since it reopened here at Alton Towers. It's the soundtrack, it's the whole vibe down here that's created this amazing themed area. And I'm loving the music. I remember saying actually, oh, I hope they don't mess with the soundtrack too much. In my opinion, they've enhanced it. Like, it's so much better now. I love the original Graham Smart soundtrack, but they've kept that iconic tune and really built on that now for Nemesis Reborn. Oh, she's an angry beast. Fantastic. Of course, you got the eye over here, all the teeth around. I love how the teeth kind of move out as she comes around here. She's grasping on just up here to these broken supports as well. Oh, it's fantastic. Really nice what they did with all of this. And these have been in now for a couple of weeks, and we did post about them on our social media, so make sure you give us a follow on the Theme Park Worldwide social pages if you haven't already, because we always share updates there too. But we've not mentioned these in the video. We've actually added all of these tentacles coming out from around the eye now, and I really like these a lot. We were expecting to see these because that model in the shop, when we all looked at it on opening day, you can see these on the model, so it's nice how they put them in. It's kind of expanded on the eye a little bit now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's added a little bit more, which is really nice, but the eye is fantastic. They've done such a good job.
Yeah, it's brilliant down here. I love the atmosphere down here. It really does feel like the beast is alive. Here are also a really nice kind of near miss when you're coming out of the downward helix. And look how close it is to your legs. Brilliant. Of course, we had the opportunity to get some great night rides as well the first few weekends of the season with Alton After Dark. And yeah, there's quite a few new little bits of theming around just to go and see, and some of those are actually just down here. This used to be the Nemesis kitchen, if you remember, on the original ride. A lot of people never really got to see it because it's hidden away underneath the station. Yeah, look at this, just all these random kind of boxes and just little bits really, like just add to the storyline for the rides, just filling in a little gap. Now the most stress on the rides train is actually on the downward helix just here. Look how tight it is. That was one of the reasons why they actually added an extra support just over there on the downward helix, because look how tight that is. Like, it's definitely the most intense part of the ride. A beautiful element. What's quite interesting is it looks like the front row is off on one of the trains. Now that all kind of goes on to talking about the reliability and you know, a few issues that Nemesis has had since it reopened. You've got to think it's mostly a brand new ride, and there was only a few sections of track and supports that weren't replaced, and they were the station, the brake run and the lift hill. So you know, it took a bit of time for Nemesis to settle in, but there's certainly been a bit of downtime and a few issues with the beast since she did come back into operation just over a month ago, as you'd expect though with any new ride. And even if you don't like riding roller coasters, that is the beauty with Nemesis Reborn. You can just stand around the area, walk underneath the ride, watch your family and friends on there and just take in the atmosphere. I love it around here. Even on a quiet day, it's got a great vibe. All the smoke, the music. looks gorgeous from every angle. I love how they are. It's so ferocious, isn't it?
It's funny because the front row's on the other train now.
Yeah.
There must have been nobody in the air gate.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah, no, they're loading that one there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
15-minute wait for Nemesis Reborn this afternoon. Not too bad at all. Friday afternoon here at Alton Towers. Let's go up the queue line because there's quite a bit of new theming to see. This soundtrack though, it is gorgeous. Wow. Now I've not been counting how many rides we've done on Nemesis Reborn so far this year, but we've been coming up quite a lot off camera as well. Obviously we don't always bring the camera to Alton Towers. It's our local park, you know, just come on, relax, and don't always film. We've got to have done maybe 100 rides, I guess, something like that I'd say. Well, maybe not quite that many, between 80 and 100 so we've done a lot, haven't we? Yeah, a lot in a month. We should have counted really. But yeah, walking up that part of the queue line there is always a bit of a killer, isn't it? Oh, it's quite steep. Now they've actually added a few new props down into the queue line there as well. You got like an antenna, there's some boxes, some of the Phalanx kind of cargo and materials just over there. And there's also some Phalanx sandbags that they've added just down there as well. And there's quite a few of those now around the queue line that we're going to take a little look at. And some of the biggest changes have happened over the past couple of days, and that is the gun just over here. Can't get any closer to it because this part of the extended queue is closed off at the moment. Well, there you go. This was looking quite plain before, and yeah, they have added quite a lot of theming on this now, including some red tubes that are coming out. You've got the black and yellow on there, which kind of matches with Ground Command, the coffee shop, and also what they did with the blade as well. See, I actually think this is looking better than it was before. They've added a bit more detail on there. Instead of it just being like the matte black paint, they've kind of dabbed some grey paint on there. I don't think you can just make that out, just on there as well. What's really cool though with the gun is that it kind of fires with the sound effects as the train's coming down into the corkscrew. But yeah, I think it's looking better than it did before actually. And here's a look at the gun from round on this side as well. So yeah, you've got the black cabling all around the top section, and you've got the red all around the back just there, and some more scenic painting that's been done on there, like on the end of the gun. It was just quite a standard black colour before, whereas now it has got some more depth to it. I like it. I think what it needs now is some smoke coming out of it, because like I say, the sound effect, you'll hear it in a second actually, when Nemesis comes down the drop and up into the first inversion of the corkscrew, you get the sound effects, but some smoke coming out would be nice. Here we go. Imagine that there when you get the drop, if some smoke came out. I thought that would be good. But no, overall I think it's looking pretty decent. Yeah, hopefully a little bit more to come, but it just goes to show a month in and it's still a bit of a work in progress, you know, just adding some little bits to the Nemesis Reborn area. Of course, you've still got all the roaming street theatre around as well. You can see a couple of the Phalanx just down there at the bottom in the red suits. Brilliant. You got like the Mushroom Cloud Luxury Tour Bus guy, and lots of other roaming street theatre around the area that really does help bring the Nemesis story to life. I love how they're doing that, even on the off-peak days as well. Nemesis area, however the queue line really does still need a bit of a tidy up. There's pipes and things everywhere, and like all the branches over here that just got cut down. And yeah, one of the worst offenders is just over here. You see some of the old fencing just over there, all just kind of chucked together. So yeah, as much as yeah, the area looks great, it's the presentation of some parts of the queue line. This top section looks the part though, because I really like how they put all the stones down here. That looks good. Yeah, just in general, a bit of a tidy up still needed around parts of the queue line. Charlotte will tell you this, but I have this soundtrack on in the car all the time. Literally when we're driving up to Alton Towers, it's got the Nemesis Reborn music on.
March around the house.
Yeah, we do. yeah, it's just like some of these pipes and things here that still need tidying up. But there's some new props around in the queue line, which is good to see just over here. So you got like a satellite dish just over there, another antenna, some boxes. These are similar to the ones that you can see underneath the station area. And you know me, I really like random props, and it all kind of adds into the storyline with the Phalanx as well. Just like different equipment for like testing and research. Some of them Phalanx sandbags just down there as well. And this is directly underneath the lift hill. There she comes. Something that I have really enjoyed is having all this section of the queue line open just over here. I mean, it's been many years since people queued at the top here. So many people have had memories of, you know, queuing up here back in the day, so it's been nice. Let's talk waterfalls, shall we? Now you can still see some of the pumps and things around here. I mean, these have been here for like a month now. That was one of the waterfall features. There's still been no update as to whether if they're going to come back or not. I mean, the fact they kind of cleared all of them out and the pumps are on display does make me think maybe at some point they are going to come back. There's been no updates, we've seen no testing or anything like that yet. But fingers crossed, we are going to see them come back at some point, because it would be really nice to see, even if you don't have the red water, just having the waterfalls creates a really nice energy around the ride. I'm not too sure if you spent any time standing here watching this pre-show, but it's really well filmed, creates a nice backstory to the ride. Seek the truth. So these barrels have been in for a little while now, but there's another box with a satellite dish on just over there. And this still needs a good tidy up all around the back. I mean, I'd like to see them put another fence around the back just there to kind of block that off a little bit, just to make this area feel a little bit more immersive around here. It's interesting now, they did flatten all that land off to the side, maybe to put something on the top there. Not too sure, but there's all these pipes kind of running over that area, and yeah, there's a few signs that maybe the waterfalls will come back at some point. I really do hope so. It did add a great energy around the ride, and especially when you were going round, you know, really feel like your feet were going to get soaked from the waterfalls. It was a nice touch. There she comes, Nemesis Reborn. The train looks so cinematic there, going through the zero-G roll above the station, especially with the smoke as well. And over here on the stall turn, of course, you've got the crashed helicopter with "Sit Back, It's Fry Time" on the back. Love that little nod to the original slogan for the OG Nemesis. And for a couple of weeks now, you've actually had the propellers spinning round here on the helicopter. They weren't for the opening day, but they soon got them sorted out and in action. So it looks really nice. Just add some more kinetics to the area, and then the smoke coming out there as well. Brilliant. I actually like all the sound effects from the inside as well. It's like a radio. Queue line, you get some great views looking out over Galactica. Are changes going to be coming to Galactica at some point in the future? Well, maybe so. A Seek the Truth logo is actually painted on the back of the entrance sign last week. It has been rubbed off since though. Was it done by the staff as a little bit of a joke, or was it put there, you know, by a guest? You don't know, do you really? But it was painted on there. Certainly looked like it would have been done by staff. Maybe some stuff having a bit of a mess around, or was it a little hint it was only supposed to be there for a week or so? Interesting, but yeah, changes could be coming to Galactica at some point. No matter how many times I've been on Nemesis over the years, I still got that excitement, that buzz when I walk across this little bridge here and up into the station, especially now with all the theming in the station. It really does look the part in here. I'm so glad this fence never got touched or made like higher or anything like that. You know, looking down here is incredible. I was a bit worried we were going to see this fence like really high and block the view, I really like to appreciate how this huge hole was dug to build Nemesis. I'm sure a lot of you know this fact already, but I will share it for you. A lot of the rocks you see around the park, especially through Katanga Canyon, were all actually dug out from this Perry pit just here, and you can kind of see down the bottom here some of the rocks look similar to them other areas, but yeah, amazing. Zero G roll, Nemesis Reborn. Here she comes. Another question is, have you missed having a front row queue? I mean, you used to be able to wait down here. 2.
Row 8.
Oh, lovely.
Nice. 3.
Row 8, I'll take that. What an atmosphere in here. Thank you. Nemesis, back row. That's the place to be. Give me a back right seat, my favourite on the ride. Looking forward to getting on again, as always.
Very excited to get back on.
It's one of them, no matter how many times you do it, it's a classic, isn't it? Especially down here on the back row. What they've done in here now is so good. Cool, isn't it? How all the blood, all the veins make up the row numbers up there as well. Right, let's go and ride, and we'll share a bit of an update on how it's been reliability wise, and also talk about that rattle. Ride there on Nemesis Reborn. Since reopening, we've had so many back row rides as well, haven't we, Charlotte?
Oh, we love the back row. It's fantastic.
It's the magic row. Row 8, that's where you want to be. Ideally, back right is the best seat, but I had a back left that time, which is brilliant, especially coming up here into the Zero G roll. We said this when it opened, but I'll reiterate it again. This ride is just as intense, if not more intense, than it ever has been. The force on this coaster is phenomenal, especially the downward helix and the Zero G roll.
Whee!
Beautiful going up into there. That Zero G is riding the best that I've ever known it in all the years I've been riding Nemesis. And of course now it's back as Nemesis Reborn. Now something that I just want to talk about is of course the Rattle. Show a bit of a Rattle update for you all. Now what we're talking about this Rattle, it's not rough or anything like that. It's not like jolting you about loads. It's more just an annoying sound that you can hear in a few places. Predominantly you can hear it up on the stall turn, and also as well, especially at the end of the ride. You notice a little bit when it's coming over the overbank here, but especially the final turn of the ride before the brake run. It seems like it is worse on one of the trains, but you can still hear it on both of them, and you notice it more towards the back of the train. So yeah, it's not rough or anything like that. It's more just an annoying sound. You don't really feel the chain judder or anything. It's just a sound. It's going to be caused by the wheels or the wheel covers or something like that. But it's quite interesting how it's happening in them predominant places. Also just wanted to share a bit of an update about the Rattle in general on B&M coasters, because yeah, we noticed of course last year when Mandrill Mayhem opened down at Chessington, that had a bit of a rattle on there. I mean, that rattles more than this, doesn't it, Charlotte?
Yeah, it does. That's got a very prominent rattle on that one.
Being a wing coaster as well, you can really feel it on there.
Bouncing.
I wouldn't say it's rough, but you can feel it juddering. You don't really feel it on this, it's more that you can hear it, and it's still there now. It hasn't changed. Is it the wheel compounds? Is it the wheel covers? Is it them sections of track? I'm not too sure. But actually a couple of days ago there's been media previews for another B&M coaster over at Dorney Park over in the USA, and that's a dive machine called Iron Menace. And actually on that ride it's also got quite a rattle. By the sound of it, wait for Nemesis come past. That's also got quite a rattle, and it's only open for media previews the other day, but you can also see it in the footage. So it seems like a thing with newer B&M coasters, that they've got this rattle about them now. I'm not too sure what's causing it. B&Ms have always been known to be silky smooth, So I'm interested to know what it is. I think it's the wheels, not an issue with the track, but I guess we'll find out in the future. So it's still got it, it's not taken away from the ride experience. It's more just a little bit annoying in them sections here in it. It's not rough, it's not jolty, but I do worry in the long term, could it turn into that? But still, it's lovely to have Nemesis back here at Alton Towers, reborn with the awesome theme in. I think we'll go on for another ride. Now we see a lot of enhancements happening around the area, but we've also heard that potentially this claw over here could be an animatronic, and when you look at it close up, you can see that it's not actually attached just down the middle there, looking like this could open and close. We've heard this could have been testing recently on a night, so I'm hoping that we see this in action soon. So yeah, it looks like this is an animatronic just here on the claw, so I guess we'll find out what happens with that one. Oh, they are. Don't trust the phalanx, that's what they're saying.
What are they hiding?
I don't know.
More transparency from phalanx.
Nemesis has feelings too. Oh, look at that. Here's another look out over the gorgeous station. Yeah, it'd be great if that does move. I can't wait to see it. Just looking out and appreciating the beast itself. They did a really good job with this, didn't they? It is fantastic. All of the details on all these arms and claws and legs. Oh, it looks so good. Tell you what, you can't pass up a 10-minute wait, can you, for Nemesis Reborn? And that's the thing, it has really helped with other queue times around the park, and the fact that, you know, you have got Nemesis back. It's a high capacity coaster from B&M, and you know what, the park really missed having it last year as part of the lineup, especially in a park that is lacking support in Filler Rise. Just to have this back, it is certainly helping on other queue times again now. Fantastic. What a ride. Even on a rainy day, rainy Friday afternoon here at Alton Towers Resort. Awesome ride there on Nemesis Reborn with just a 10-minute wait on this wonderful Friday. And yeah, typical spring weather at the moment. 1 minute it's raining, next minute the sun's out, isn't it?
Well, it's just terrible. But we have got some new bins to look at.
There you go, look at that. A bin update, what's it come to, eh? But no, on a serious note, at least they're themed into the area. There you go, recycle on the left, normal bin on the right. And yeah, they are themed in to Forbidden Valley, like red and black bins, which are looking quite nice down here. It's a little update, but still it helps add to the immersion of the area. Seek the truth. Let's see what happens with Galactica. Fingers crossed with this new flat ride coming in down here to Forbidden Valley next year. We'll kind of see them finish off the area and give Galactica a nice retheme to fit in. I'd like to think so. Not too sure what's going on just over here. It looks like maybe a planter we've been working on or something. Yeah, something happening just over here, as you can see. Yeah, it does look like a planter going across. I'm not too sure with that one.
It looks like it could even be stairs, I'm not too sure. Maybe it is a planter, but it's like in different levels.
Yeah, it is. Let's get on this rock and have a little look. There you go. Yeah, just looks like a bit of landscaping, doesn't it, maybe, for this area, but still, you know, it's getting closer and closer to that bottom end. Come on, surely we got to see some changes. Fingers crossed. Mushroom Cloud Luxury Tours. Love that. Good sound effects. That's a nice little update on Nemi Reborn feel. I'm sure we can all agree that having Nemesis back here at Alton Towers for 2024 is fantastic. We've had numerous rides on there, and let us know your thoughts down below in the video comments. And it's also clear as well that it wasn't finished fully, was it, for the opening day?
No, we can see that when you've got extra bits of theming and stuff around the area being finished off.
We're in the 5th week now since Nemesis Reborn opened here at Alton Towers, and they're still working on a night to do things. And like I say, hopefully we're going to see that new little animatronic
cool.
At some point in the future. Been testing it overnight apparently, so fingers crossed we're going to see that very soon, because that will help add to the story even more with the beast coming alive. And that's the whole thing with Forbidden Valley. It just feels so alive. It's having the roaming street characters, but also things like the smoke machines, the lighting at night, sound effects, and things like the bus. Yeah, they've done a really good job, haven't they?
It was such a quiet area of the park before that was very like 100
was.
now it's so nice to see it come alive and people enjoy it.
The noisiest thing was the sound of Nemesis before, and of course it has lost a bit of its roar, but it's still got some of it. And of course we've got all this new theme in, this new look for Nemesis. I'm really pleased with it, and I can't wait to see what other updates we get. Of course next year the opening of the new flat ride, currently codenamed Project Ocean. We should be finding out more about that soon, hopefully. And fingers crossed some changes down to Galactica as well. And then the way I see it is this area then has got two B&M coasters, one inverted, one flying. You got a couple of flat rides with the new one and also the Blade. And then of course the dark ride with Nemesis Subterra, the indoor drop towers. It's a very well-rounded area. Finished off nicely then, and then carry on of course working around the rest of the park. Well, thanks for joining us here on Theme Park Worldwide. We've got our annual food vlog coming up tomorrow, so make sure you check out that. We go around, we got all the prices, all the menus, and then after that we've got a trip coming up.
We're going to Portaventura!
Hey, heading out to Spain, so we've got vlogs coming up from there. And then following that next week, we've got Europa Park, we've got Energylandia, we've then got a US trip. Honestly, there's so much happening over the next couple of months here on Theme Park Worldwide, so stay tuned for lots of vlogs. We're here from Alton Towers. That leaves with one final thing to say.
Get out there, keep on riding.
Bye-bye.